What's up, YouTube? It's me, the Artisan MC, and today I'm going to give you my review and reaction to House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 8, the finale. Um, now, this is a pleasant surprise. It is a pleasant surprise. I watched a finale of House of the Dragon, and it actually made me want to watch the next season of House of the Dragon because where they left it off was in a world of shit. Now, I came into this episode with low expectations, basically. I am still resolute in the fact that I wanted Massaria to die. I didn't like the storyline with Massaria. I wanted her gone. And where they left the previous episode was not a good place for me. I didn't like that at all. I didn't. I understand that it's not in the books, and as well, it shouldn't be in the books. So it shouldn't have been in the show either. It was a waste of time. That being said, the rest of the events that I knew were going to happen in this episode was that they were going to have to take Tumbleton. Ulf was going to turn, and there would be a battle. Those beats were met. A lot of the other stuff that happened, that was actually some good television. It was. There were a lot of moments in this one where I really felt that everybody, all the side characters dealing with the main characters, were really just pushing buttons like they wanted to get dispatched that episode. They really were. Everybody was getting nut shots, basically, because some of the stuff that was coming out of the side characters' mouths at some of the main characters was like, you are going to die. What happened to you all of a sudden? It's like everybody grew a backbone at the same time. Now, I will go a bit out of order because it's just my memories of just shutting this off and watching the episode. In the sense that one of the best acted scenes in this happened at Harrenhal with Alice Rivers and Aemond. And Aemond wakes from a dream, realizing that his mother did poison him. She did. Alice warned him that she was there up to no good. He didn't listen. It's my mother. And sure enough, his mother poisoned him, tried to kill him. And Alice has revived him, got him back to the world of the living, not dead. With the unfortunate revelation that his mother did try to kill him. Now, Alice does display some care for Aemond. And although their relationship was forced together in this season really quickly, because you don't know how much time has gone by since he's been there, Aemond asks Alice the logical question of why him? Why? Why is she so care so much? And Alice does something that you have not seen in 2 seasons. She sheds a tear and has emotion. And she tells this story about when Harrenhal was first burned and how all of Harren's line was killed that day. But they weren't. There was a child. And that child was burned. But it lived. And the mother of that child called maesters and all such to come and try to fix that child. And when that didn't work, the mother of that child went to some darker magics in the green and made some deals to try to get that child to survive, to fix the child. It didn't work. The child eventually did die. And the mother had to realize the price she paid for dabbling in those magics, making those deals, that the mother could not die. And more so, she was bound to one place, the green in Heron Hall. And that's when you realize, when she's telling this story, how well this actress is acting. Now, I have not felt this moved by a performance since India Navarrete in Obsession. The woman that's playing Alice, I don't even know her name, but she was acting the hell out of this role. I felt this pain. It was coming across the screen. It was coming across her face. It felt natural as hell, like it was her own life that she was speaking from. And this is just the story of Alice. That was heartbreaking. Because in that moment, you understood what it was with Alice, with Heron Hall, and why she just pops up. Why is she always there? Why does she have to be there helping everybody that comes through there? She can't leave. She's trapped there because she was the mother. Over 100 and something years ago, she was the one. She was there. It was her child that died. And she has been cursed to be alone in Heron Hall since that time. And explaining this to Eamon, telling him this story, Eamon finally understands Alice in a way that he is just now coming to realize he is alone in the world too. Like Alice is telling him that his mother just tried to kill him. He tried to kill his brother. He has nothing left. Nothing. His dragon's not even there. And that the person who would understand that the best at this moment and in offering him a way forward is Alice. To have children and be the king there in Heron Hall. That story got me because the scene was very well acted. Very well acted. I mean, that was awesome. Now, a little while after this scene in Heron Hall, Eamon actually hears something outside. He hears a dragon flapping of wings, wind. And he goes out into the main hall. And sure enough, a dragon lands in the hall. But it's not Vagar. It's not Vagar. It's Sunfire with Aegon the Burnt riding on top. And in seeing this, Aemond drops to his knees when his brother comes up to him. Now, it's well played, but it's just because he's hella tall and the dude is short. I think that's why it happened that way. But in this moment, Aemon comes face to face with his brother Aegon, who he threatened the last time he saw him. Threatened, pretty much veiled threat to kill him the last time he saw him. Had him afraid of him the last time he saw him. This time, Aegon is walking with purpose, rides his dragon, slaps the piss out of Aemon, and starts delivering his lines. And I don't know what it is. I think it's his voice. I think it's really his voice for that actor. He's just making me laugh. He's making me laugh because he's saying stuff in a flippant way, but you know he means it. He's serious. And in some moments, he's actually scary. But his profanity and some of the other stuff he says, it just makes me laugh. It's like, yes, he's writing what he's saying, but it just makes me laugh. And it's a good scene because the other actor playing Aemon is playing it straight. He's sorrowful. He's mournful. He's a different person now. He is not the same Aemon that landed here a while ago and was just killing everybody in the building that was being nice to him. Not the same guy. He's a little different, especially after figuring out my mother just tried to kill me. And now here is his brother who he tried to kill, alive and well. He asks, he begs for forgiveness. And Aegon can really not even be mad. He's disappointed. He expected some fight out of Aemon. He gets none. He gets apologies and contrition. It's like, it's almost unsatisfying. Now, the funny part is, both these brothers in the last two episodes had their own moments of realizing that they really did envy each other. They weren't saying it to each other, but they were saying it out loud to somebody else, a proxy in a sense. That they envied their other brother because they both thought the other one had a better life. Even though they grew up in the same castle, in the same place. They're both envious of each other. For no reason. Now, you would hope, seeing them come together, that would come out in this scene. It doesn't. Not in an obvious way. It does come out in the sense that Aegon could kill Aemon. He has every right to at this moment. But he doesn't. He wants his brother to stand by his side and ride with him to take back King's Landing. And then he says he'll think about forgiving him. Now, to me, that means he already actually forgave him. He already did. But he's going to make him do the Dutch, kiss both cheeks, and eat a little shit for a while until he decides to let him know, yeah, it's over. Because in those past episodes, Aegon actually missed Aemon a little bit. He knows he was being a shit to him. And Aemon admitted that he really liked his brother. He didn't think he was fit to rule. But that was his brother. He felt sorrowful for what he did to him. And what kind of person that makes him. So in a sense, even though you're supposed to hate both of these characters, because they are deplorable people, make no mistake about it, they have grown, in a sense, from their time apart in their time in the world to see that they are not good people and have to own that. They're not good people. This is what makes this show a bit hard to root for either side, because either side you look, there's some really terrible people there. They've done some terrible things. As much as you might like Christian Cole was an asshole. He was. And as it said in this episode, he died badly. He did. Everybody's like, fuck him. But you can admire, in some ways, the sense of honor that he had about himself. It makes it complex. It makes it something that I can respect this, but I don't like you. It's an interesting thing, right? Now, that little bit, those two scenes kind of tie up the situation with Aemon, Alice, and Aegon. They're coming together. They're all together now at Heron Hall, and this is what the next mission plan is going to be going forward. Awesome. Good shit. Now, for Damon, the situation gets a little bit more tense in a sense because Rhaenyra finds out that Aegon is alive. And not only is Aegon alive, Sunfire is alive. And they have recently christened, I think it's the Motons or whatever, their detachment at Rook's Rest. And now the people in the faith are looking at it like it's the second coming of Jesus or something. That he is arisen, he and his dragon, and they are coming back. The Savior is here. Well, I don't know why the people in King's Landing have that view, because Aegon was a piece of crap when he was there just being a prince. I don't know why they even believe that shit. But regardless, beliefs are beliefs, right? So Rhaenyra runs to the one person she can count on to actually listen to her crying and belly aching. And it's not Massaria. She runs to Daemon, her uncle husband, and tells him what she just found out about Aegon being alive. Now, the minute she walks into Daemon's room and Daemon is getting ready to put on his armor to go take Tumbleton, and she comes in there with all that blubbering and crying and shit about Aegon being alive and her legitimacy and all the rest of that, I'm like, F her. Tell her to go talk to Massaria. Because that's where you were the night before. Go talk to her. Because what she asked Daemon to do is not something Massaria can do. Massaria is not going into battle for Rhaenyra. That's why it serves no point to have those characters entangled with each other. She is not her conscience. She's not a moral sinner. Massaria is a whole hoe. Has been a madam. A moral compass is not what she has. Her advice has been shit. So Rhaenyra running in there to talk to Daemon, I think is a bit of an insult because she just kind of dismissed him last episode for lying to her to save his daughter. So I didn't think she should have been coming in there asking Daemon shit, but she does. She asked Daemon to go and take Tumbleton, and it's up to Daemon to put her back together while she's being a blubbering, snotting, crying mess. Put her back together, put her on a path, and like, look, you got power, use it. Put your big girl panties on. Stop playing patty cake. And that's what she does. She finds some resolve and gives Daemon what he always wanted, which was, hey, go do what you got to do. Bring this back and make it look good for the crown, because the people is watching. And that's what Daemon goes off and does. In the meantime, she sends Massaria away. Soldiers come in, the little A comes in, her little snitch comes in, and yeah, you being packed up and sent to Pintos this day, right now. She sends her away. And I'm like, good. Get her out of here. I don't want to see her no more. I wanted her kind of dead, but this will work too. Get her out of here. We don't need her advice. Now, the show will tell you that this is a darker turn for Rhaenyra because she's sending Massaria away and stuff like that. Yeah, whatever you think, man. No, she don't need to be there. She's a problem. She's undermining a relationship between a husband and wife, like whores do. And then she's trying to manipulate the queen sexually. She should be going. And on top of all of that, her advice has been shit. Her advice got her not paying her gold cloaks and throwing bread to the people who would turn on her in a minute as soon as they found out Aegon was alive. Bad advice. So she's sending her away, and Masari is just shocked. She can't believe it. Well, one of her old charges told her that. Once a whore, always a whore. Always a whore in their eyes. Yes. Used and discarded. And Massaria can't get shit done. Now, in addition to Massaria having to go somewhere, Rhaenyra has a little talk with Helena. Because Helena has not been eating. Even though she's pregnant, she has not been eating. Helena is not well. She is a very gentle person in a really rough world right now. And although she may see the future, she's still living in the present. And it's not pleasant for her. Now, her sister, that I have to be reminded of this, that they are legitimately sisters, blood sisters, comes to her about her not eating and has a conversation with her. And this conversation between Helena and Rhaenyra are one of several conversations that Rhaenyra have where people tell her what is exactly on their mind. And she is kind of shocked. And I'm looking at all of them like, y'all trying to die today. Because she is not going to take that well. This is not the day for this. You can't take this reality today. And Helena basically, in a sense, tells Rhaenyra that she could read her the whole time. She knew when she was lying. And that the things that Rhaenyra likes is ugly. It's ugliness. And in a sense, Helena don't really want to be a part of that shit. So Rhaenyra, in a power play, makes her eat by having soldiers hold her down and forcefully feed her because she is a prisoner. Now, that's kind of messed up for a sister to do that to a sister, carrying a baby or not. I understand you can't let her waste away, but that was rough, boy. I've never seen somebody get, waterboarded with chicken noodle soup, but that's what it looked like was happening. That's kind of rough. Now, on her second order of business, Rhaenyra has a little conversation with Baela. This also was ill-timed, but Baela does give Rhaenyra a little bit of piece of her mind. A little late, but she does give it. And what you see from Rhaenyra is that she does not give a damn about them. She even goes so far to grab that chick's face. And I'm looking at her, look at this bitch. Now, one of the fun parts of watching Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is seeing how all this king and court stuff goes down and seeing how a lot of people get to act really bad because they got one title. Without that title, a lot of people get their ass whooped quickly. Quickly. But because of the title, they don't usually get the ass whoopings they deserve. That's what I thought about Rhaenyra in this thing. She should have got her ass kicked because she was way out of line. And what Baylor was saying was true. She should have said it earlier, but it's all still the same. It's all still true. She uses people. And when they're of no use to her, she puts them aside and blames them. What she blames Baylor for is the death of Jace, which isn't Baylor's fault. It relies on one of two people, Jace himself or Rhaenyra, for not listening to the boy that would one day be king. It's their fault. Baylor followed her husband, his directions into battle, or her betrothed. Yes, her goofy, wall-eyed sister finally claimed a wild dragon, and the wild dragon, in her efforts to try to help, did more harm than good. Yeah, that happened. But Jace getting killed was Jace's fault. He flew too low to the water trying to get away from that sheep stealer. He got his dragon caught by the Triarchy and drowned. And then he was shot with arrows, none of which Baylor shot, none of which her sister shot. His death is because of the Triarchy, the arrows they pumped into his ass. Being mad at his surviving, fiance does nothing for you. So when Baylor told her, the only reason I'm still here is because I have a dragon, it wasn't a lie, it's true. There was no reason for Rhaenyra to be pissed off about that. It's the truth. So while the scene was good, it wasn't good for Rhaenyra, it was good for Baylor because she finally said something to her about that shit. And personally, I just don't like seeing the sister get, grabbed up by the little white-haired chick. Like, you should be beating that bitch ass. You should be beating that bitch ass all up and down King's Landing for putting her hands on you. Because she taking way too much liberty. And the crap that Rhaenyra was saying was some foul shit. Like, whoa. Really? Is that how you feel? Okay. I can always jump on my dragon and fly the fuck out of here. My grandfather does have a castle. Damaged as they may be, he still got one. And his heirs have 2 dragons. Holler at us if you want to smoke. Just saying. Now, this is not the end of Rhaenyra's bad day at work, to where she decides she's going to have the septum anoint her now to prove that her rule is legitimate. Now, this whole thing with legitimacy for the whole season has been kind of silly to me, that she wants this legitimacy so that damn bad. You sitting on the Iron Throne right now. Let them motherfuckers believe what they want to. But I'm here. That's not enough. She needs to be anointed. So she puts on her battle armor and has Alan of Hole with the sea snake soldiers from Driftmark, ferry her to the Sept, and she meets with the High Septum. Now, this old bastard tells her, like he told her before, he could not do it. He is not going to anoint her. He just anointed Aegon before. And you ain't produced the body that he did, so your rule can't be legitimized. Without that, not in the eyes of the seven, which I understand his position. But Rhaenyra don't want to hear that shit. So in a very not Karen, but a messed up kind of way, she has Alan of Hole kill the High Septum. Even with the High Septum letting them know how much of a curse this will be on their house and everything else, she has Adam kill the Septum. And Adam does it. Or Alan, excuse me, Alan does it. Now, I don't like this move. In the span of one episode, you have this character using these Black Valerians badly. Now Alan's just a killer. He a high sword. He killing septums and shit. Like, what? Come on, man. No. Because he won't give her what she wants. She used the black dude to kill this person. Like, oh, here we go. And then she rolls out there in her battle armor in front of everybody gathered outside the Sept and kind of tells them the story of Ice and Fire. The line from which she comes from. What is her role? What she plans to do. You could have did all of this shit when you took the throne. When you were sitting there feeding rats to the rich of your city while you robbed their stores of food. Well, you could have just told them ordered them to turn it over. Now, while this scene looks like it could be good, it wasn't carried good because Emma Darcy's voice is not strong enough. That's why I didn't feel it. She sat there and gave story time. And it didn't go over as well as the small intimacy of just Alice talking to Aegon. Which makes me think that the actress playing Alice is better than the actress playing Rhaenyra. That's kind of messed up because it's happening in the same show, so you can see it. Just better. Ugh. Yuck. Now, by the time Rhaenyra is finished giving her speech on the mound to the small folk, she heads back to the castle and discovers that Helena the seer has decided to fly free. She finished her little tapestry she was sewing and dives out the window. Like the other king, I can't remember his name from Game of Thrones, which we didn't see her go out the window, which is fine because she's supposed to be pregnant at the time. But it's still regurgitation, and I'm wondering if that was actually in the book or not. because it's the same thing happening again. She threw herself out the window onto the battlements and she is deceased along with her child. And Rhaenyra, seeing this, is shocked, but in picking up the tapestry that Helena was sewing, she sees that Helena had shown a white-haired woman on the Iron Throne. And Rhaenyra, seeing this, feels vindicated that her role was ordained. So at that point, she just closes the window and calls it a day, I guess. Now, as goofy as that was, it was kind of sad for Helena because in all of this, Helena ain't really did nothing to nobody. She was a special case. She could say some things at times, but she just was a different kid. She was born into the wrong family at the wrong damn time. If she was born later, she probably could have had a nice life and raised chickens and pigs and all the shit that she wanted to, looking at bugs, and just had a normal weird kid life. Unfortunately, she was born Targaryen into that family, and this is what she got. Very unfortunate. So seeing that character has gone is a sadness in a sense. It's like innocence has left the world. Because aside from little Joffrey, there's not really people that you're rooting for on this. All these people are going to have to go. Because they are all, in some states, terrible people. The two that might be savable is Joffrey and Daron. Even though Darren killed the whole innocent man because Ormond told him to. Titles. Now, on that green side of things, Ormond knows that Tumbleton is going to be attacked. His men are suited up. They're drawing everybody back inside the walls. And he is obscenely confident that things will go his way. In the local tavern, you got Ulf sitting there doing what Ulf does, being an Ulf, getting drunk, talking shit, and telling everybody in the tavern kind of the plan of what he's going to do, of him turning on Rhaenyra and burning these people. Now, this is a bad look. This is making me not like Ulf. I liked him well enough, getting the dragon and everything else, but this turn for him has been something that I see as kind of stupid, but I knew it had to happen. But it's like, you're an idiot, dude. Like, bro, they really do need to take a dragon from you. Because he's just not making smart decisions. He's just not. It's in the irritating way, like you will have friends in real life that would rather do drugs or alcohol over common sense stuff that will help sustain them. It's looking at Ulf is the same thing. Like, oh my God, you are such a screw up, dude. You just keep doing it to yourself. Like, oh my God. Please tell me it was planned. All right. But relying on Ulf, Ormond is confident. And Ormond in the Greens, since they know Daemon and his forces have massed outside of Tumbleton, they shore up their defenses and then they decide to march the little boys up to the battlements, up to the wall, and put them in front of the soldiers. Now, this is just absolutely reprehensible behavior. But because of his title, no one will look at this dude like, what is, oh, heck no. Somebody gonna have to Julius Caesar this fool. No, everybody takes their orders and lets the little kids stand in front of them, have no business out there on that wall in the middle of this battle. They're just the regular villagers, but they put the kids up there to protect the soldiers. And I'm like, this is bad, dude. Who is following this guy? Who's following him? Now, Prince Daron and the other High Tower, I'm forgetting his name, Gawain, I don't remember it, decide that this is a losing battle, which it is. And to prevent Daron from going out there and fighting with the soldiers, Gawain thinks up a plan. Gawain's plan is to take the sea snake, who is chained up down below, and take him out to the battlefield to try to trade him off to Damon and with a peace treaty. And the peace treaty, in simple terms, is leave us Old Town and let Daron rule there. And y'all can have everything else. And we don't even have to have a fight. And as a sweetener to the deal, here's Lord Corlys back, minus one finger. So he 99% whole. Well, the problem with this peace proposal is he's talking to Damon. Damon ain't about that peace life, bro. That is not the guy you bring a peace proposal to. Because in Damon's mind, it means, oh, what, no fighting? Oh, hell no, we're not doing that then. Damon has a mandate from the queen. She said the gloves is off on the high towers. Take them all out to the man. And you're like, bet. I was going to do that anyway. So while Gawain has a good peace proposal, Corlys sees the wisdom in it. Yes, that would make sense. Damon ain't hearing that shit. He don't want no parts of that. He came for 40 pounds of flesh and a lot of blood. And he will not be satisfied till he gets that. So he sends Gawain back on his way, back into the castle, takes Lord Corlys as a prisoner, and presses the attack. And when I was watching this, the only thing I said after that exchange was, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Damon don't care. He's not a good person. You can respect him in some ways because he can be loyal to some things. And he's charming. But he is not a good person, bro. He does not care. He came here to kill some folks. He is going to kill some folks. He don't care nothing about no peace. That is not on the table today. So it was a good move. It was just delivered to the wrong person, man. Wrong delivery guy. Right delivery, wrong time, man. No, that's not it. So Damon presses the attack. And I have to say, the Irish dude with the scar who's playing the character in the Starks. I can't remember the name of the character he's playing in the Starks. He is classic, dude. I love seeing this dude on screen. Every time I see him on screen, I like seeing this dude. He has so much character by himself that him being here in Game of Thrones, in House of the Dragon, is just fun. It's like seeing an old friend again. Like, oh man, I ain't seen you since Sons of Anarchy, man. How you been? Because here he is leading the Stark army, and he got so much sass and flavor and stuff like that with his characters. Like, man, I like this dude. I really like him. I really do like him. He's just fun. He's just fun on screen. And when his army tries to take Templeton, you get a real understanding of what men were made of in certain times when it meant you got to go to battle against somebody, what kind of courage and balls that actually took. Because when we think of medieval warfare, we always think of swords and shields and armor and shit like that. You forget that everybody didn't have armor. Some people just had animal pelts and skins and leathers and shit. And that's how they were running out there to a hail of arrows. You can say it's crazy now because we live in these times. Back in those times, that's just the way it was, bro. You charge the wall, you get an arrow in the eyeball, a brick in the shoulder. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. That was crazy. You most assuredly knew you were going to die. So I can see why people would drink and live it up. Because you knew you were going to die. It was assured. More assured than you walking off that battlefield in one piece. So when they storm Tumbleton, they do just that. And it's brutal. Man to man, hand to hand. It's a brutal way to fight. It really is a brutal way to fight. Thank God we got better technology. You can shoot from afar down. But, it's all relative. Well, while Damon is outside the castle and his forces are actually pressing on Tumbleton, inside the castle, Ormond is losing his shit because nobody can find Ulf. And they have been going door to door throughout that city looking for Ulf White. When they finally find Ulf White, he has fallen asleep on Nishita. Not Ormond's favorite place, because it smells. They drag him out, and Ormond proceeds to roundly smack the shit out of him and talk to him like most arrogant highborns would talk to somebody like him. That he is low. He is nothing. And he does beat and shame Ulf right in front of everybody in the street. Now, I laughed at this part because Damon smacking him across the face was seen as such a grave insult, even though Ulf knew he was not supposed to be back down where he was. He knew it. Damon knew it. Damon smacking it was just reinforcing the order that you was already given. Don't have your ass down here. You're too valuable. Drink in the castle. Call your friends to the castle. You never thought of that. Well, Damon only smacked him once. Ormond gave him a little two-piece. Really just shamed him bad. Talked to him dirty. Now, for Ormond, he is too arrogant to realize that is a mistake, because this is not Daron. This dude will leave this castle and get on a much bigger dragon. And you want the last thought in his mind being that you just smacked him up and talked crazy to him. Okay. Well, Ulf goes to get on his dragon. Ormond gets to the wall to see what he's wrought. And when Ulf starts flying on his dragon, first thing he does is start lighting up Damon's forces. Lighting them up, burning the regiments and stuff. Like, Jesus. I didn't want to have to see that part. I thought it was kind of messed up. I knew somebody was going to have to turn. I knew Ulf was going to turn. But it's pointless because, look, you're not getting anything any better with these high towers, bro. You're getting the same shit. All because you like getting drunk. You a screw up. Now, watching this scene, it's clear to me that they're going to have to take out Ulf. They just are, or they're going to have to make an example of him because Ulf does something in the middle of this fight that's worse than just burning Rhaenyra and Daemon's forces. He does something that Daemon was instructed not to do. And Ulf turns his dragon on the regular people in the city, inside of Tumbleton. He just starts burning everybody. As indiscriminate as Sheep Stealer was, Ulf is doing it on purpose. Oh yeah, he goes after Ormond. He burns Ormond's ass alive. And with the stuff that had happened to Ormond right before that, I'm sure he was welcoming the flames because he was not going to get right for the rest of his life. He got some of that American me. Just saying. Ulf does the unspeakable. He burns civilians, just regular people in the city. He burns high towers and he burns Targaryens. He don't give a shit. He burned both sides. So now he is just persona non grata, I would think. You need to go find sheep stealers so they can hang out together. Because he should be getting roundly dispatched soon. Now, when this happens, Daemon is in the city, inside the walls, fighting hand to hand and going against Ormond's second. I'm forgetting his name. And they're having a good fight. Daemon's actually getting his ass kicked. He starts getting his ass kicked. But you understand that Daemon cannot die because his plot armor is such that he has to still fight his nephew at the God's Eye, I guess. So this is not where Daemon dies. It's just not. So by a twist of fate, he is separated from the person that he is fighting, and he gets to see the destruction that has been put on the city by Ulf. Mothers holding their children, civilians burnt up. He is just upset. And I see this and think of the eyes of the people that are there because, as far as they know, those dragons are under Rhaenyra's charge. They don't know anything about no side deal this dude made with Ormond. Or he just broke bad and decided to burn both sides. Everybody gonna burn. They don't know that. What they know is he was in charge of Rhaenyra. So now it looks like Rhaenyra did this. And that's the story that they will tell, even though it's wrong. And from that scene, I know Ulf is going to have to be made an example of, dude. You're gonna have to bring him through King's Landing, dragging his entrails and his dragon along with him to prove that he was not acting on your orders when he did that crap. He has got to go now. He has got to go. Now, this ends the fighting in Tumbleton. Lord Corlys shows up, grabs Daemon, lets him know that Ulf has turned. The city is lost. Let's get the hell out of here. It is time to go. And they do. They leave the city. The city is done for. In the aftermath of all this, you see that Ormond may have survived, kind of burnt but not dead, which is really unfortunate because what Aegon went through to get his armor off of him is probably going to be worse for Ormond. Just saying. If he's still alive. They showed him found laying there with his eyes open, but they didn't say he was dead. Right? Daron is missing. Gawain is alive. And a couple of the other dragons from Rummathor and Syrax is chasing Ulf's ass. And that is how the episode ends. That is the finale. And I can say from that, it was a good finale. It was. I felt tense. I felt tension growing in the episode, and I had great performances by some of the characters in the episodes. The best one being Alice's, but the most fun one being Aegon and Aemon talking. The most annoying was Rhaenyra talking to Daemon, asking for his help. Talk to your girlfriend. Remember, I'd be pissy. I'd be a terrible dragon rider because I'm too scorpionic to be listening to that shit. And I'd be like, nope, don't talk to your girl. Me and my dragon gonna kick up our feet today. But I can say they surprised me. They made a good finale. They made a finale that makes me want to see what happens next because the train wreck is just beginning. This all got to go down in flames. And at this point, I'm here for it because I got to see the next part of what happened after that. Have to. If this was a book, which was, I would be waiting on the next issue. I'd be waiting on the next drop publication for this book. I'd be looking it up online to see when it's coming. I would. So, as much as I don't like their writing team at some points during this season, kudos to Ryan Condon and T for writing this episode and ending this season in a strong way, as opposed to that whimpering shit that we saw in the last couple episodes. I do appreciate it. So that is my review of House of the Dragon Season 3 finale. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. $ Artisan MC on Cash App or Artisan MC on PayPal. And if you'd like to see my watch along of this episode, check out Patreon under Shop Talk Live with Artisan MC. And don't forget the live show every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, where I will be talking about this and some other things. But with that, I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for showing up, and I will see you next time. Peace.